afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the masterclass of how to blue zone your brain. I'm the owner of, my name is Dr. Lisa Huseboe. I'm the owner of Focus Brain Therapy, and I am also the creator of the Cognitive Circuit Training Program. The Cognitive Circuit Training Program is a restorative brain therapy that combines sensory integration, cognitive skills development, therapeutic exercises and activities, vestibular and ocular motor exercises, and emotional regulation into a 90-minute session. It results in accelerating and aiding your brain's natural ability to heal itself through neuroplasticity. So welcome to the masterclass, how to blue zone your brain. So imagine living in a world where reaching 100 years old isn't just possible, but it's practically expected, and where dementia is almost unheard of. These are the rare regions of the globe where people live longer and have healthier lives, thanks to their lifestyle, which naturally embraces the principles of neuroplasticity. The blue zones have high concentrations of centenarian people who live to be 100 years or older. And they typically have lower rates of chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and especially dementia. The principles of neuroplasticity are naturally embedded in the daily lives of the people in the blue zones. Let's explore how each region harnesses these principles. First, let's visit Okinawa, Japan. Okinawans spend 97% of their lives free of any disease or disability. In addition, it's said that Okinawa has the longest living women in the world, which many surpassing 100. This is because of the combination of diet, low-stress lifestyle, caring community, activity, and the spirituality of the people of Okinawa. Okinawans eat primarily plant-based diets with lots of stir-fry, seaweed, and sweet potatoes. They do eat meat, but it's generally only on special occasions. They utter the phrase harahachibu before each meal, which means eat till you're 8 parts out of 10, 80% full. This practice encourages eating slow and mindfully, and it discourages overeating. They practice Tai Chi and martial arts. And in most Okinawan homes, they have very little furniture. Instead, they sit on mats and they must get up and down from the floor, resulting in good body strength and balance even into old age. Okinawans also take care of their minds too. They embrace ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese term that blends 2 words, iki, meaning to live, and gai, meaning reason, which translate a reason to live. Ikigai is a concept that encourages people to discover what truly matters to them and to live a life filled with purpose and joy. Okinawans, especially the elderly, rarely feel lonely or isolated. They also have a tradition of forming a moai, which is a gathering of people that provides social networks. These gatherings are where people can lend emotional and sometimes financial support to each other. Next, we're off to Ikaria, an island in Greece. It's called the island where people forget to die. Ikaria is almost entirely free of dementia. A combination of geography, culture, diet, lifestyle, and outlook is the reason for this. Ikarians have a strict adherence to the Mediterranean diet, eating lots of fruits, vegetables, beans, whole grains, potatoes, and olive oil. Clean air and warm breezes draw them to outdoors and keeping an active lifestyle. They enjoy strong red wine, late-night games, and have a relaxed pace of life that ignores clocks. They have late bedtimes and are followed by daily naps. Ikarians have a relaxed approach to time, often described as Ikarian time, where there's less stress about the schedule and more focus on enjoying the present moment. Next, we're off to the island of Sardinia, Italy. Sardinia is where the mountains are steep, the food is rich, and the people are even richer in years. And Sardinia has the highest concentration of centenarian men in the world. Sardinians keep their brains active by arguing passionately over whose wine is best. It's not just a hobby, it's a sport. They also engage in lively telling tales of old, tales that get exaggerated each year. Sardinians stay fit by hunting, fishing, harvesting the food that they eat. Sheep herders tend to walk at least 5 miles a day. The Sardinian diet is a carb lover's dream. Whole grain beans, bread are staples among adding fresh vegetables, goat's milk, and a glass or 3 of red wine. Sardinians value community like it's a national treasure. They spend their days surrounded by family, friends, and neighbors. Social ties are strong, and you're never far from someone who's ready to share a meal, a story, or a friendly argument. Next up is Nicoya, peninsula in Costa Rica. The Nicoyan people seem to have taken the phrase pura vida, pure life, to heart, to their liver, to their kidneys, and to their brains. Nicoyans stay mentally sharp by staying active in their communities and never retiring from life. They have mastered the art of staying calm and positive. They live simply and enjoy what they have. And they let go of stress with their mindset that can be summed up as, why worry? Life is good. Family is everything in Nicoya, and their lives revolve about spending time with the loved ones. Big family gatherings, community events, and regular church attendance keep them connected and supported. Nicoyans continue working through life, staying engaged in everyday activities that challenge their minds, whether it's farming, fixing things, or just keeping up with the grandkids. They're always learning something new. And the Nicoyan diet is simple. Corns, beans, rice, and every variety of fresh fruits and veggies in the region. That's what makes up the bulk of their meals. They also drink lots of water that's naturally high in calcium and magnesium, kind of like a nature's sport drink. At last, we have a blue zone here in the USA, Loma Linda, California, where clean living pays off big time. It's a community of Seventh-day Adventists, and they live long, healthy lives by following the principles of faith, family, and food. Emotional well-being is a big deal in Loma Linda. The residents manage stress through prayer, meditation, and they focus on the positives in life. Their faith gives them a sense of purpose and peace that keeps their emotion in check and their blood pressure low. Plus, a supportive community, there's always someone there to lean on. Loma Linda is about community of regular church attendance, potlucks, and volunteer activities. The typical diet in Loma Linda is primarily vegetarian, and it focuses on whole, unprocessed foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and legumes. Their diet emphasizes moderation, mindful eating, and is low on refined sugar, salt, and processed foods. Water is the main beverage in Loma Linda. Caffeine and alcohol are generally avoided. So that's the 5 blue zones, where people don't just live long, they live well. In summary, blue zoners turn emotional regulation into fine art, socialization into a community event, cognitive stimulation into everyday life, physical exercise into a natural part of their environment, and a diet into a brain-boosting feast. And they all do it with a smile. So next, let's explore what neuroplasticity does and how does it work, and how to apply the principles of neuroplasticity into blue zoning your brain. Okay. The brain, the next frontier. 100 billion and trillion connections to explore, to boldly go where no researcher has gone before. Okay, up until recently, everyone believed that the brain was static. And as we get older, it starts to decline, or it would just keep on losing brain cells. And after a head injury, geez, the belief that there wasn't anything you could do about it. Well, thank goodness that's not true anymore. In the past decade, with all the advanced technology, every day we're learning something new about the brain. The biggest discovery is that of neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to enhance, repair, and make new neural connections. So how does it work? Well, first of all, the brain needs new, repeating, and challenging input for neuroplasticity to occur. To explain how that works, here's an analogy that'll demonstrate the neuroplasticity process. A long time ago, pioneers set out in search of a new life. And when they did, they left trails for others to follow. Those trails became dirt roads. The dirt roads became paved roads. Paved roads became highways. Double highways. And the highways started adding new accesses to make connections easier and faster. And superhighways. This is what happens in the neuroplastic process. The newer, the more repeated and challenging the stimulation is, the bigger, the faster, the more connected the neural networks become. Only your brain's superhighway is much faster. So, neuroplasticity works by new, repeating, and challenging stimuli to enhance, repair, and make new neural connections. So we know that neuroplasticity needs this, but what else does it need to occur? It needs 5 factors. And those factors are emotional regulation, physical activity, cognitive stimulation, socialization, and a brain nutrient diet. First up, emotional regulation. We all know that we're living in a crazy world right now, a world full of stressful situations. And a lot of these stressful situations, there's not much we can do about it. However, engaging in daily activities that promote relaxation can significantly reduce stress levels and help save your brain from the cascade of physiological effects from chronic stress. Here are some activities you can do to reduce your levels of daily stress. Deep breathing. Deep breathing helps control stress by activating the body's relaxation response, specifically the parasympathetic nervous system. When you take a slow, deep breath, it sends a signal to your brain to calm down and to relax. This reduces the production of cortisol, and it also lowers your heart rate and your blood pressure. Yoga. Yoga helps with emotional regulation by combining physical movement, breath control, and mindfulness. The practice encourages you to focus on the present moment, which can reduce anxiety and stress. Through consistent practice, yoga helps balance the nervous system, promoting a sense of calm and stability. This balance makes it easier to manage emotions, respond more thoughtfully to challenges, and maintain a positive mindset. In short, yoga teaches you how to stay cool and composed, even when life gets a little overwhelming. Meditation. Meditation helps with emotional regulation by training your mind to observe your thoughts and feelings without reacting impulsively. By regularly practicing meditation, you become more aware of your emotions and gain the ability to respond in a calm, balanced way. It also reduces the activity in the brain's fight or flight response, which leads to lower stress levels and more emotional stability. Tai Chi or Qigong are beneficial for emotional regulation because they combine gentle, flowing movements with deep breathing and focused attention. These practices promote a state of calm and relaxation, helping you to reduce stress and anxiety by aligning the body, breath, and the mind. And laughter. Laughter is great for emotional regulation because it triggers the release of endorphins, the brain's natural feel-good chemicals, which helps reduce stress and elevates mood. It also lowers the stress hormones like cortisol, promoting a more relaxed and positive state of mind. In short, laughter acts like a natural emotional reset button. I love to laugh, but I love this next idea for emotional emotional regulation even more. It's called Shinrin Yuku, forest bathing. The practice of Shinrin Yuku began in Japan in the 80s and since has become extremely popular. Researchers proved that the benefits of the forest bathing reduce cortisol, lower pulse rate, lower blood pressure, increase parasympathetic nerve activity, and lower sympathetic nerve energy. And the Japanese doctors were so impressed with the results they started prescribing forest bathing for the treatment of anxiety and depression. The popularity has now spread across the world, and even 35 states in America now have physicians prescribing the ecotherapy. The prescription typically involves a guided experience or recommendations from healthcare providers, encouraging patients to take regular walks and in wooded areas or parks. The goal is to reduce stress, lower blood pressure, improve mood, and enhance overall health. What forest bathing is not. It is not hiking, it's not running or climbing. It's sitting or strolling in the forest. It's a total sensory experience. As you sit or stroll, deep breathe the clean, fragrant air. Listen to the twittering birds, rustling bush, and the trickling stream. Marvel in the sights of the trees and of the light filtering through its leaves. Touch the soft green moss. Relaxing, right? Next is physical activity. Physical exercise gives the brain extra oxygen, which is helpful, but more importantly, exercise increases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is like a fertilizer in the promotion of growth and maintenance of the brain cells. In addition, exercise improves the following: memory, cognition, motor coordination, and it decreases the number of stress receptors, and it also creates a surplus of endorphins. Everyone knows the importance of exercise, but the key is to find something that you want to do. Walking, jogging, running, and biking are all wonderful ways to exercise, but maybe it's not for you. The key is to find an exercise you like. And here's some other ways you can get some physical activity. Speaking of floating your boat, how about go stand up paddleboarding or kayaking? Go to the park, play some frisbee, do some somersaults, cartwheels, or handstands to feel young again. At home, you could master a jump rope or a hula hoop. Or you could play some active video games like Dance Revolution and virtual sports. And if you're playing a video game like Grand Theft Auto, don't do it sitting down. Get up, stand up, and do some squats. And 50 push-ups every time you die. Anyway, find something that you like and keep moving. Your brain will thank you for it. Cognitive stimulation. One of the very best things for your cognitive reserves is to learn a new language or a new instrument. Both use multiple areas of the brain while learning. Play some puzzles like Sudoku, crossword, or jigsaw. Completing a puzzle activates many cognitive functions, including perception, mental rotation, working memory, and reasoning. Playing card games or board games can be a fun way to socialize or to pass the time. Card games test a person's short-term memory and ability to remember patterns. Chess and checkers leads to improvements in memory, executive functioning, and information processing speed. Playing video games. Yes, video games. They're good for the brain. Video games lead to improvements in attention, problem solving, and cognitive flexibility. Okay. Go back one slide. Taking up a new hobby can be mentally stimulating and exercising in many ways, like knitting, drawing, painting, and adding some little activities with hobbies like photography, gardening, and bird watching. Sorry, that slide messed up a little. Okay, next is socialization. Socialization. Being social and participating in social activities is like doing calisthenics for your brain. It keeps your mind agile and improves cognitive function. Listening and speaking are a demonstration of the interconnectivity of the brain functions. When you're listening to a conversation, words go in, then they're processed, decoded, recognized, and analyzed for emotional tone. The words are then extracted for their meaning and then associated with the memory and finally comprehended. The speaking process begins with the selection of words. Words are attached to memories and ideas. The brain selects the words for use. Then the words are matched for sounds, and the sounds are matched with the mouth, tongue, and throat movements, and those movements are finally articulated into speech. So you can see how a simple conversation exercises your brain. Stay social, and here's some fun ideas. Workshops, community gardening, book clubs, organized sports, cooking classes. Next up is the brain nutrient diet. And for the 7th year in a row, the Mediterranean diet is #1 best diet overall. It also ranked best plant-based diet, best heart healthy diet, best diabetes diet, best diet for healthy eating, and the easiest diet to follow. That's why I educate all my patients on the importance of the Mediterranean diet. Studies show that the Mediterranean diet improves cognitive performance, such as learning, decision-making, reasoning, and problem-solving abilities. It also has been found to slow down cognitive decline, and it lowers the risk of Alzheimer's disease. The diet is based on plant-based foods, including vegetables, fruit, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. Fruit is a go-to dessert instead of sweets. Olive oil is the primary source of fat, and dairy is limited. Fish and poultry are the protein choices in moderation. Red meat and processed foods are saved for special occasions. Okay, hold on. Sorry about that. Okay. Did I mess up there? There we go. Let's go there. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. Okay. One more. Okay. The Mediterranean diet allows for red wine in moderation. One thing I get asked a lot is red wine really good for you? Well, the idea that drinking wine in moderation might be beneficial for health has been a topic of debates for years. While it's true that a significant body of research points out the overall risk of alcohol, there is also a cultural and contextual argument suggesting that the wine, particularly when consumed in certain ways, might have a positive effect. You just learned that blue zoners, like places like Icaria and Sardinia, often enjoy wine as part of their daily routine. These people are not only surviving, but thriving well into old age. Along with the healthy diet, active lifestyle, and strong community ties might be playing a role in mitigating some of the negative effects associated with the alcohol. And moreover, the quality of wine seems to matter. They're traditionally made without added chemicals, and they're said to contain beneficial minerals like potassium and iron, as well as antioxidants. So it's generally advised you don't drink, but Uh, those who enjoy a glass now and then should choose a high quality natural wine, good company, and a stress-free environment. This all could indeed tip the scales towards a net positive effect on health. So while the debate continues, it seems like you're going to enjoy wine, do so in moderation, and focus on quality and surrounding experience may be the way to go. One more thing that's very important I'd like everyone to know is to sleep. The quality and quantity are both very important for your brain. During deep sleep, the glymphatic system brings fresh fluid into the brain, mixes the fresh fluid with the waste-filled fluid, and then flushes it out of the bloodstream. It also rids itself of unnecessary extraneous information that we got during the day. Also, during sleep, the brain consolidates short-term memories and links new memories to old ones, and then sends it off to the many long-term storage areas. You know that there's always a teacher that you had in class that says something that just sticks with you for life. Well, I had that teacher that once stated that sleep was a weapon. And if you get a good night's sleep tonight, instead of cramming all night, you'll do better on tomorrow on the exam. I did, and I did. Ever since that lecture, I became a huge proponent of the importance of a good night's sleep. So practice some good sleep hygiene and use your weapon. Your memories are counting on you. As we wrap up this masterclass on how to blue zone your brain, I want to leave you with some key takeaways first. Embracing the 5 factors of neuroplasticity: exercise, diet, socialization, and cognitive stimulation and emotional regulation is not something that happens overnight. Start small. Incorporate one new habit at a time into your daily routine. And let your brain transform with consistency. As you nurture your brain, don't forget to practice Ikigai. Find that intersection of what you love and what you're good at and what the world needs. And what can sustain you is about finding your purpose. Whether you're a claims manager, adjuster, or a risk manager in the workers' compensation, you often face challenges, but with purpose guiding us and those challenges becoming opportunities for growth. Remember, you're not doing this alone. You already have your Moai, the wonderful family of Bloom, and together as we empower each other, we're building our own blue zone where women and workers' compensation thrive to support one another and continuously improve. Thank you for your time.